where were we?
Samson was telling about how the last 2 days have been.
Oh yeah. Either. Yes. Do. Say words, please.
Does anyone remember where they last heard me talk?
Right before you disconnected.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
It's been a long 2 days.
It's been a long 2 days. 2 people I know went under my nose.
Reno, Zanzibar, town.
Zanzibar, why? Oh, yeah, you were talking about have no idea why he sent you, and then she asked, or why would he send us? Something like that.
Man, if only we had some sort of recording.
Recording?
Who would ever have an idea like that?
I don't know, but it'd be a really good one. So whoever had it must have been a genius.
Yeah, I know, I'm a genius.
Well, you would be if we had a recording.
Do.
Oh, maybe we should check the recording.
I'll be right back.
Got themselves killed. Meanwhile, we started traveling. Honestly, I'm not sure why he'd send us. Only.
No.
Yeah,
The literal last thing you said was, "I'm not sure why he'd send us," and then you took a pause, about to say something, and went, "Ah." Brr.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I needed my lines.
There's a line, and I'm gonna have to put in some flashback stuff. And...
Cool.
Great, I have to video edit. Oh.
Yeah, how dare your internet do that?
Yeah,
my internet's a bitch.
How dare you
Just like
give
Zanzibar.
me more than 48 hours worth of work?
Yeah.
So I don't know why he'd send us.
Correct. Yes. You know, just feels like I don't know why he'd send us to do this. I mean, like, I know why, but...
Do you?
Well, he's having us do this because it's basically just a big middle finger to everyone who sent us here in the first place.
That's definitely true on some level.
I don't know. Just... I got a lot of learning to do.
He never bothered to explain his 3 principles to you, did he?
I don't think so, no.
Well, I certainly don't know everything that he's planning, but I
don't think anyone does.
I don't think he does.
But I can definitely sniff when he's starting to move the wheels. I would assume that on some level, if he's forcing mortals to do it, then it probably has something to do with his 3 principles. And those would be magic, science, and gods.
I was really expecting I do what I want, when I want, how I want.
I was expecting reduce, reuse, recycle, but hey. That's why he's not Greenzabar.
He only ever explained it to me once. How reality should be structured. Whatever he's planning, if he's using things outside of his own power, then it probably has to do with that. Because as you might imagine, he kind of just snaps his fingers and gets things done. If he's taking a less indirect route, that means it's important to those three principles. I'm not perfect at explaining it. I don't live his life. But as far as I remember, and as far as I know, it has something to do with there being just enough science in the world that civilization can grow. That whatever will be sentient is able to build, use tools, create and invent, to the point where, well, civilization exists. However, according to him, with too much science, mortals turn away from magic. And if mortals turn away from magic, their science goes out of hand, becomes too destructive, too creative. I can't say I don't agree with that point. I mean, look at my hands. Look at what they were able to make. Because I went just a little too far. According to him, being able to use magic prevents them from needing to create tools. If you can create a giant fireball and blow it up, then what do you need to make a bomb to do the same thing?
Sips is gonna like look down at his bombs and just like, yeah, huh?
But it's still imbalanced because even with just magic, you could still go too far. There are powerful spells that can wipe out armies. And that's why he sees a necessity for gods, celestials, higher beings. They keep the fear of a mortal in check. They
Have you seen the ship? I'm sorry.
They serve as a limiter. They keep mortals in reverence of power, of magic. And the loop is closed by science. For if any one of those things were to fall out of alignment, they could be corrected using one of the others. Magic can defeat science, gods can suppress magic, and science can let a man kill a god.
Have you seen the shit wild magic sorcerers can do on accident?
Probably not.
Yeah, on accident.
So, it is so true that, well, if he's making you do things for yourself, then he sees a reason that if he were to do it, and you were to sit there and watch, you wouldn't have an appreciation of doing and accomplishing things with your own hands. Starts to sound a little similar, doesn't it? If you think about where we're sitting and where we are. And she kind of tries to give you a knowing look.
Yeah. It does.
He's not an easy one to figure out by any means. But if you're forced to stomach him for long enough, you get used to the insanity, the madness. And you start to see that it makes a balance. At that point, you're kind of left with two choices. Hate yourself for understanding, or accept that maybe he's just a little right. Honestly, I'm too old to care. It's not like I can say that I've done a better life or lived a more peaceful existence. I suppose in a way things are just what you make of them. Having to stomach mistakes or learning to grow. Or maybe I'm just senile and spouting nonsense.
It could be both.
It could be both.
I wouldn't be surprised. Welcome to Zanzibar, where madness is the currency.
Thanks, Granny.
Don't thank me. At the end of the day, you're the reason why you still breathe. I'm just a little old woman who's afraid of her mistakes and chooses to make soup to cover them up.
That's oddly specific.
Yeah, well... I don't think I can drown my mistakes in soup.
You can drown it in whiskey, though.
Can't drown them in liquor either, Samson.
No. No, I can't. It helps. Boy, does it help. But I really feel like I'm starting to see a pattern where every time I try, things only get worse.
Well, I can't say I haven't been there. But I can say this. In possibly the worst way it could be. You ended up with the one person who always makes sure you understand your mistakes. If there's any environment for growth, it's where you already are, with who you've already met.
Gonna glance over to the other two that are still asleep.
Aw, you do care.
No.
Not that that was ever unclear, but...
Yeah, this has definitely been an eye-opener. This whole island has definitely opened my eyes to something.
Never having kids.
Never, ever having kids.
I'm definitely never having kids.
It's like the worst tip you could get from this.
Do you genuinely say that?
No, it was so good though. You know, I feel like before we all came here, we were, how can I put it? We all thought we were hot shit.
Most of us.
Some of us didn't even think we were. Some of us just thought we were shit.
One way or another, we're all just the big fish in the little pond. And, well,
I don't think.
this definitely served as a wake-up call.
I don't think Nim ever thought she was big anything.
Big in terms of money. Anything else? Not really.
And I think that realization hurts some people. I think that realization certainly helps some others. You believe that I never wanted to go on this stupid trip in the first place? Well, you probably could. Zanzibar, we're talking about.
She's just like trying to stifle a laugh. Just like.
But before I even knew about this no man's land, no offense, I don't want to spend my time with a bunch of kids going on some dumb trip to God knows where.
when technically you're only ever traveling with 2 children.
If I wanted to do more of that, I would have stayed back in Reese's. Escorting kids to some place and having them take their dumb little notes. All for some coin. I wasn't happy.
What about now?
Well,
Get me off this island and then I'll tell you.
I don't think happy... I don't think happy would be the word for it. I had to draw a gun on
People.
people. Quite a few people. None of them are around to tell of it right now. But I learned to stop being so full of myself. Actually work with others. Do something more for more than just myself. I think most importantly, I learned to stop it looking like everything, like getting it done was all I needed to do, and living was just a bonus. Meeting I think it might be just what you said. Meeting Zanzibar is probably one of the best things that have happened. Would I be lying if I said I wasn't a little jealous?
Of who?
And Samson's gonna glance back at Nim and Yala, who are asleep.
I can't say I get what you mean.
Those 2 are fucking weirdos.
Ever since we arrived at Zanzibar's tower, he's done nothing but rant and rave about how much potential Nim's had. How he could control it. If she could control it, she could become one of the greatest magic wielders in the entire world for centuries to come. And Yala, oh, she's a weird one.
Damn.
She's just a weirdo.
I know why she's here, but more importantly, I know why she wants to go back. But no matter how much she goes through with it, she never goes for whatever Zanzibar wants her to do. No, that's not true. She does it, but it really gets under her skin how she just doesn't ask for anything.
Just fuck that guy.
Yeah, that certainly sounds like it would throw him for a loop.
I don't know. I don't even know what I'm jealous of. Maybe it's the attention. Maybe it's the potential. But it feels like between Nim's potential and Yala's conviction, and I feel like I'm gonna fall behind. Lose everything that I was hoping to keep. Now that I know that I want to keep it.
Can anyone ever have these, like, touching hearts to heart when people are awake?
No.
In the dark of the night, hearts will find you.
Yeah, in the dark of the night, the sweetest things will ever be said, but no one important will ever hear them.
Not gonna lie, I was partially hoping for like one of the sleeping people to wake up only for when Samson was talking about how he used to view the party. Like, I don't want to travel with a bunch of dumb kids and then they fall back asleep and they wake up and they're like, Samson, what the
How is that a surprise to you? It was 2 months ago.
I had a weird dream that you called us dumb kids. Better have been a dream, Merrymaker. Claws out.
Yeah,
I was gonna
so.
say a thing. Brain power.
Brain
yeah.
hogger.
As weird as it may sound, though nothing about him ever should make sense. Did you ever consider that him not always paying attention to you may be the sincerest form of flattery?
You're the only confident one? Which is not the case, but...
Remember
Yeah,
the principles. It is in Zanzibar's own opinion that only a man, only someone who doesn't have magic, could ever truly kill a god.
He never said that to me. He only told me that it'd take a monster to kill a god. Looked me dead in the eye and asked me if I was a man or a monster.
Oh, Samson. As far as Zanzibar is concerned, the only true monster is immortal. Only mortals have the courage to go where no one else could go. Gods are born, and they just exist. Some are just a god of something, some are just higher beings. Every religion could teach you that, but it's only immortal. Only a meager orc, or a tenacious dwarf, or even a simple human that can bend fate to their will. That's why Zanzibar always says and calls himself a man. Because it's only a mortal's willpower that allows them to do things that no other creature can do. That's what a true monster is to him. Something that can't be stopped. We define monsters as Tarrasques, Hydrasques, dragons, serpents, golems, ghouls. We see power. Physical brutality is the quintessential defining trait of what makes a monster. But to Zanzibar, intelligence, wisdom, physical strength, emotional strength, the combination of all forms of what could be described as strength, that makes you unstoppable. And I only know this because I have lived a very long life, and he uses my house as a relaxing zone.
Yeah, I do not envy you there. Well,
I don't
also-
envy me either.
I also got him stuck in my head for whenever he needs to poke and prod at someone for his own amusement.
Aw, that means he wants to keep you around.
Well,
I'm not considering a compliment just yet.
Zanzibar's a cyberbully.
One day,
The Facebook group of Zanzibar.
the echo chamber of Zanzibar. Echo, echo,
But it only echoes that I
Stop doing
hate
that in
you.
my head.
Echo! Echo!
But anyway, carry on. You guys just being quiet, or did I disconnect?
No, you're alive. I'm waiting for Ed to continue his thought.
I'm sorry, someone sent a video in memes and it's the entirety of Pickle Rick. I got really confused at why a 23-minute webbing just showed up.
No, it's after reply.
And then she
To the
turned
gram.
into a tabaxi! Funniest shit I've ever seen!
I don't know if you're talking about Nim or Yala, that's the funny part.
I don't think Yella turned into a tabaxi.
Oh, Shay. Never
Plot
change.
twist. Kiela's been a human this whole time.
Sometimes I wonder if there's like a temporal, like, water cooler where different versions of Zanzibar just get together and shoot the shit about all the dumb things that happen in their respective timelines.
Which
What,
one of
just
you
like
has the Nim with the
multiverse
spine?
theory, where there's just a superimposed layer of infinite Zanzibars?
Yeah, but there's just a water cooler that 3 or 4 of them hang out around. One of them just like, and she turned herself into a tabaxi! Funniest shit I've ever seen! And they all
Oh, I
laugh in
thought you
unison.
meant like the residents of Zanzibar visiting other versions of Zanzibar. No, you're talking
No.
about like a...
The man!
Like, Zanzibar...
Zanzibar the man.
The man! The Manzibar. Literally just like 20 of them hanging out by a water cooler. And then, her head got taken clean off and she turned into a pearl! Funniest shit I've ever seen! Yeah!
Exactly.
Oh god, man, Dark Zabar! They're alternate versions! Why not a man Dark Zabar? Zanzibar with a bowl cut.
Zanzibar, the Nerdabar.
Anyway, you was saying...
Well... I appreciate the pep talk. I don't think I'm gonna be doing anything to any gods anytime soon.
Maybe next week. You'll get him, Tiger.
Trust me, there's one I might have to pick a fight with.
Wait, what?
Don't worry about it. But more importantly,
She just picks up her walking stick and has this very not amused face.
Just keep talking faster, Simpson.
more importantly, I just want to make sure I have what it takes to take care of those two.
Don't worry. I'm pretty... Zanzibar doesn't take dead weight.
Sure about that? Nim almost died at the table.
Believe me, he saw some use in you. Whatever that is, well, that's for you to keep you up at night.
And it definitely is, and he's gonna gesture to himself right now. I think it's about time I catch some shut-eye.
I could agree. Now, would you mind helping our old lady into bed, considering I'm knee-high to a grasshopper? I'm also old.
I'm old
Well,
and
we're
frail.
staying in your house, so if you need me to help out anything before I go to bed,
Pick me
I'm
up
at
and
your
put me in
service.
bed, please. My joints hurt.
alright.
Dance.
And Samson's just gonna pick up Granny's hand.
Take her over to the cot.
Yeah.
How sweet. Samson's becoming a caretaker.
Just
Really
imagine you
elderly.
pick her up by the armpits and just hold her like a dangle, like a rag doll.
I just took her under my arm like a football.
I mean,
And
it
then
ain't
spike her into bed.
the first old woman Samson's had to take care of.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you pick her up like a football, and she just like Superman poses.
Whee! Yeah. So Samson will put Granny's in down for the night and then head to bed himself.
Oh, fair enough.
Alright, now everyone restore your health unless something happens in the night that we need to be worried about.
Oh no, Samson's sleep shooting again!
Now here's the thing. I wanted to close off the day so that we could start off a day for the stories. The idea was to try and fit in the group beach day, but we got an hour left.
We could do that after the stories.
Yeah.
Yes. But here's the thing. Where do we spend the last hour? Because there's not enough time to start the stories.
Beach episode again, obviously.
We just call the session and chit-chat.
Yeah. We could call an early session and then put everything off till next week.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to fight us if we don't play for 5 hours.
Yeah, the audience might get real pissed.
Yeah.
If you're pissed, like, comment, and subscribe.
If you're pissed,
And if you're if you're not
pissed, like, comment, and subscribe. If you're not pissed, like, comment, and dislike,
Hopefully you're
comment,
already
and
subscribed.
subscribe on.
like, subscribe, and downvote people's piss comments because they do really funny.
I make a YouTube video. Hey. So yeah. Well, sounds like that's a good place to stop.
Yeah, since Nim can't go swimming just yet.
Yeah. Goodbye,
I mean, if we want to continue, it would just probably be like Kiala teaching Samson how to swim.
Yeah, actually that needs to happen.
Yeah, but that's gonna start off a whole nother day.
Yeah, and at least now that can happen without a disadvantage on everything Yella does.
Yeah.
Or Samson's going to learn how to drown even in more
Unless
ways.
you want to just take another day to spend an hour with Samson learning how to swim, and that'll just constitute yet another day.
Yeah, don't we still have like 5?
This was the first one, so you have 5.
So yeah, we've got plenty of time to waste. Nowhere fast.
It's up to you guys, I don't care either way.
Can we teach Samson to swim?
Does Samson want to spend an hour going through a story of learning to swim?
That sounds fun.
Jade, how you feeling?
I think she brought it up.
Hands full doing dishes, ah!
Ah.
But
Why are you doing dishes?
don't you know, TOZ is the greatest podcast to do dishes to. Tell your friends, if you need a podcast for doing chores too, Trials of Zanzibar.
Have you thought of putting this up on a podcast service?
If I don't do dishes now, the cheese is going to be stuck to the plate until the end of time.
Oh
The
no.
birds don't have dishes.
But after you finish the
Well,
dishes, do
guess
you
I'm
wanna
not a
teach-
bird. Haha. I am a human who do dishes.
Haha.
So after you finish the dishes, do you want to teach Samson how to swim?
I'll be
Like
right
now?
back.
Yeah.
I don't
Or
feel
do
like
you
I
want to
really-
save for next week?
I'd say just save it.
Okay.
Okay.
Because it seems like we're all asleep, and if we want to start the following day in-game with stories, then it doesn't make sense to jump.
From nighttime to awake?
Well, no, from nighttime until presumably after the stories, because I don't...
Oh
it seems
no.
like those were a day thing.
Alright, I'm back. What did I miss?
Nothing
I don't know.
yet. I was just
We're
thinking it'd
we're
be
gonna
nice-
put it off till next week.
Yeah.
Off till next week?
Yeah.
Yeah. nasty dishes done.
Fair enough. Goodbye, everybody.
Nom, 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 nom.